you haven't been here before, I pride myself on being very honest with my reviews. I cut no corners, guys. Everything is just off the top, but it's also truly what I think about the knife. With that being said, I've been getting a lot of glowing reviews. This is going to be another glowing review. If you don't want a glowing review, sorry, I really like this one. Either way, my name is Brad, and welcome back to Screaminpirate EDC. So, what's going to be the glowing review today? If you've been paying attention to, well, any of the social media of mine, it's going to be the Alliance Design Keen. Now, this is in collaboration with Brandon Corbin, and it's really, really good. It is very, very similar to his overall, I guess, as far as like looks, dimension, etc., to the Keen or Clean, as he has called it in the past. Either way, very good. Tons of variations and some really cool high-end ones that I will show you guys. I have most of the price points, and I'm fairly certain on drop dates. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Now that we're top down, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Keen. Now I'm going to have stats on screen. One of note here, and it is very important with this piece, this is a prototype. So this one in particular weighs right around, I think it's 135 grams is what I was just discussing with Alliance, and the new ones weigh 119 grams. That is half an ounce lighter than this one because this one does not have any milling on this lock side internally. Also, of note with this one, there are going to be changes here. There are a few things I don't like that they did make changes to. There is something I don't like that they're going to keep the same, and I want to be open and honest with you guys. So, before I get into all of that, drop details, etc., let me go ahead and do some size comparisons for you guys because, well, these haven't dropped yet, and you guys have no idea what it's similar to, so let's go ahead and bring some knives out. I've had some criticisms where you guys see knives that I compare stuff to, and you have no idea what any of that is. So, first one up is going to be a Benchmade Bug Out. So, a little bit bigger than a Bug Out. After that is going to be a Paramilitary 2, a PM2. A PM2 is a little bit bigger, and I mean a little bit bigger, not by a whole lot. And then after that, let's go ahead and bring out a Sebenza. This is a large Sebenza. Now this is a 21, and it is, again, a hair bigger than the Keen in the middle. All right, let's go ahead and tuck those away and bring out some ones that I think are more in a similar price category / style category, I guess you could say. So let's go ahead and grab the Easy-E 2.0. This released earlier this year from Alliance. These are very similar, a little bit more blade on the Keen, as you can see there, a little bit more out there. After that, I wanted to grab another Brandon Corbin. This is going to be the Grace. This is the one he did with Null Knives. So there you go, two Corbins next to each other, just so you can see them there. And then I wanted to grab two others, one that you should know and one you may not. This is going to be the Corvus from Brian Brown. Really liked it last year. These are very similar in overall size. If you like the Corvus, you're probably going to like the Keen. And then finally, one that a lot of people have been asking me about of this versus this. This is going to be the Chevron from Rayot. This is a Matthew Christensen design. It is definitely smaller. As you can see, and this is the one, like I said, a lot of people have been asking about. Pivot to pivot, you have a little bit less handle on the Chevron and a little bit more blade out there on the Keen. So this one is a little bit bigger. Now they are both hollow ground, and honestly, weight's going to be very similar, but this is going to be a hair lighter in the micarta specifically. So, have all the size comparisons out of the way. Let's talk about details on the Keen here. So, on these, they're going to be hopefully releasing within the next week or two. That's all I'm going to say. Alliance Designs has told me they are going to try to get them up within the next week for a drop, but do not hold me to that. That is their drop, not mine. Now, pricing is kind of, I wouldn't say all over the place, guys. There are lower tiers and there are higher tiers. That is probably the best way to put this. So this is their entry-level model. This is a stainless steel pivot collar, same with the back spacer and your studs, and then obviously titanium here. This is going to be $370. If you get an upgrade and it looks just like this, but it has a dark Damascus pivot collar, back spacer, and I believe clip, those are going to be right around $560. There's also going to be a micarta bolster lock. That's going to have an olive micarta scale, black PVD frame, and then it's going to have the actual satin blade like this one. Those are going to be $420. Now, those are the quote lower tier ones. Once you jump up, you have all sorts of crazy Chad Nichols, dark Damascus all over the place. So there is one that has, I believe, it is a satin blade, Chad Nichols on the handle, front and back, which is the crazy part, guys. And those are going to be anywhere from, I believe he said, aroundish $1,200 all the way up to $1,600 with the full Damascus, full Chad Nichols dark tie. And then if you saw today on his post, there is a dark tie bolster lock, and that one's going to have a satin blasted frame and Damascus blade, and that one's going to be right at $1,400. Now, you may be asking, why is it so expensive? Chad Nichols dark Damascus instead of titanium for the scales front and back is very expensive. That is something you typically only see on hardware for production knives. You never see it in the full frame, and you see it in high-end customs. So that is why this is going to be a little bit more expensive on the higher ones. The thing is, you don't have to buy those. Those are for the collectors. You and I both know that. The $370, the $420, and then around the $500 is going to be for the rest of us people. And again, this one is starting at $370. So all that's out of the way. What don't I like about this in the prototype? So what they are making a change to that I also did not like, and I want to cover that, is the weight on this. Like I said before, there is no internal milling here. It's going to be hard for me to get a shot of that, but there's no milling on this lock side down in here. They've taken 1/2 ounce out. That's very good. I really like to see that. Also, the tip of this clip, focus up for me there, right here, was a hair sharp. On this one, the prototype, they have chamfered that down. Same with right here on the steel for the back spacer, there and down here. That is chamfered as well. They also extended this jimping out a bit. So when I have it in hand, see that jimping kind of stops right there. That's not super comfy, but if I put my thumb here and just the base of my thumb is touching it, it will now have more jimping out there. Going to be significantly better in my opinion. Now, something they did not change that, honestly, it's so personal, and I know that, and they know that over at Alliance Designs, is going to be the thumb studs. I'm not in love with them. Do you see how they have like this rounded, almost like polished top there? Because of the way I open a knife, I do not use my nail. I use the fat of my thumb. Occasionally, when I got this in, I was slipping off. Wasn't super easy for me to actuate. If you actuate with a thumbnail, every time you'll actuate, it's fine. Is it a personal preference thing? Yes. Is it something that I am owning up to that is a personal preference thing? Yes, guys. Now, as far as action and everything else, fantastic detent. Have been very impressed with this so far. Really, really ergonomic in hand. Fits very, very well. Really nice in and out of pocket. Everyone I hand this to says they absolutely love it. Now, as far as cutting, I've had no issues with cardboard, and it's just cut and cut and cut. It's been really great for that, and I've been super impressed with that. And as far as cardboard, guys, I mean, there you go. Standard box. Yeah, it just, that hollow grind puts in work. Really do like that. Has been phenomenal to use and carry. And like I said, the action is just buttery action. Really do like to see that. And really nice sound when you open. Occasionally you can get that ping whenever that lock bar collides with the blade. Really nice. Overall, this is a Plunder. I'm really excited about it. Hopefully you guys are excited about it. I think this is a really good thing coming out of Alliance Designs. I'd love to see more customs being productions. And yeah, this is a banger. Let me know what you guys think about the Keen and if you're going to be picking one up, and hopefully you have a great day.